It is Antonio and Helen's diary, and we are coming to you live from
Nigeria.
yeah. Today we're doing an oval tabletop, not rounds, and we are in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, and we had an issue that we were discussing, and we're like, you know what, we're going to record it and put it out there so people can also chip in.
Yeah.
So we're going to have everybody introduce themselves. We're going to start from this. I'm Jory Elabieri.
Okay, I'm Daniel Alabier. I'm Abraham Atekumi.
All right, so that is everybody on our panel, and if you all don't know, they're my family. Mills is meeting fan bands.
Yes.
So we were talking about filming. My brother is an actor, and I was asking why he hasn't done anything recently, and he said why doesn't like him to act. So we're going to open the floor on that note. Joy, tell us why.
Okay, first of all, I don't have a problem with him acting. It's his choice. I grew up acting, so for me it's not strange. But then I think for all its worth, you should keep your marriage separate and don't do what you won't let your wife do.
Don't do what you want to
Yeah.
So what you're trying to say is that you don't have a problem with him acting, but are there some roles that you wouldn't want him to act?
Of course, naturally, every woman won't want the husband to cross the boundary because, I mean, he won't let me do that either. So
I've never asked you not to act. I've never made that um, assertion. So don't tell me what I won't let you do. Talk about what
Okay.
you will let me do.
Okay, I have a quick question before we leave that. You said no woman would like their husband to cross the boundary. Can you elaborate on what you mean by cross the boundary? What is crossing the boundary for you?
like, yes, set.
Okay, now we're getting to the meat and potatoes. Abraham, I know you're not married yet, but you're in this panel, so you're going to give us a single man's view. Would you let your girlfriend or baby mama kiss on set?
Well, baby mama, yes, because it's yes. But then my girlfriend, well, as long as we can keep it professional and keep it as acting, and I don't think I would have a major problem. I mean, sure, I might not watch it or stuff like that, but I won't get in the way of her if it's what she likes to do and what she wants to do.
Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to follow up with the question.
Okay.
So what if you don't watch it, or your family watches it and they're like, ah, dude, that girl was doing the mostest. We saw tongue, we saw this, we saw that. He was touching, he was cupping Phil and all that jazz. How would you still feel about that?
Well, then, first of all, I
Then there's
expect my
nothing.
family to, support me and not watch it alone. But if they do, I would try and explain that it's just business. I should be able to explain it's all for the money. I'm all about that money. I would. So as long as we can
That's one good one. Yay.
as soon as we get caught and it all stops.
It ends there.
The house wins. I love that. That's our motto as well. It's the house wins. However, since we're married, for us, Antonio, can you just tell them what we do? Because we're both actors as well.
So we have a understanding, and it's not Will and Jada understanding. We have no shade to Will and Jada. I'm big fans. I love you guys.
Exactly.
Yes, but we just have an understanding that we know, like you said, that it's art. That it's part of the story, and to sell the story, you have to make it look real. And you wouldn't watch a movie where the couple doesn't touch each other or kiss or anything because it wouldn't look authentic. It's not real life. But we have to, in a sense, push the boundary a little bit to sell the story. but we also know our own personal boundaries that we don't push as well. So for we explain what we can and cannot do. Like kissing is okay,
No tongues.
no tongue. We go by the Nicole and Boris Sojo.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go by their thing because what they do is nothing,
boobs, no
nothing
this,
below the
no
waist.
this. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, no touching of the genitalia or private parts.
Yes.
Anything other than that, kissing is fine.
Without tongue.
Without
Okay, so now going back to Joy. If Daniel, for instance, was called, they're like, Daniel, we want you to come audition for the next James Bond movie, and he's going to have two girls with him because Bond has vixens. You know that Bond always has these girls, these hot, really hot girls, and he's auditioning, and one of the scenes he has to audition is kissing a girl.
Yeah, I'll support him for a Bond
You will
movie.
kill me dead.
No, you come back home and I'll be laughing. I'll just laugh and walk around the house and say
No,
nothing.
Joy, be
And
truthful.
think, no, I'm serious.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I'll do.
Mm.
Yeah, seriously.
But you won't
I'll
talk
just
to
be
him.
laughing.
You
I'll
give him
just,
the
you know,
silent
I'll
treatment.
actually be processing it in my head. Okay, what happened? And just keep replaying in my head. I'm like, oh, okay. So, well, for a Bond movie, I'll support it.
Or bonding. But you know you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that it won't leave your mind because you said you're going to walk around and process it.
That's true.
Ah,
reading
really
between
trouble.
the lines.
I'm reading between
I'm
the
not
lines.
gonna say nothing.
If that should happen, the movie will start and end where I kissed someone. That's the whole movie.
Auntie Helen, I had to sacrifice my salsa stuff for him. Like I don't
No.
go, I don't think it.
Let's put it
Because
straight.
it's not okay with anybody holding my waist and
No.
I'm dancing. In as much as I tell him that it's nothing deep.
Okay,
like,
so
nothing
can
at
I
all.
comment here?
It's
I'm
just
not
a
part of the
dance,
one saying
like
he's
the
absent.
spin and turn and
I'm right here, so I'll comment on that. Now, when I just met her, when she was my girlfriend, she said she wants to go for salsa, and I'll go with her.
to do salsa.
Now, I'm as stiff as a pestle. I can't dance to save my life, especially not salsa. I don't know how they do it. So we'll get there. I'll sit down, and then if there she is dancing with guys, they twirl around, hold each other's waist, do the dip, do all sorts. So I'm like, okay, yeah, try to look everywhere else. Now, the question I ask her is, I don't have a problem with her dancing salsa. I don't have a problem with her dancing with guys. No, the question is this. If I should be the one dancing with girls, holding them close, throwing them, would she allow it? No, she has a problem with that. And I said, if you won't let me do it, I don't see why I should be okay with you doing it. That's my take. If you know you allow me to, fine, I'll go learn salsa. I'll make sure I have a female instructor because she was an instructor.
Did you hear my voice in his voice?
Do you understand?
Like exactly what I said is what he's
So,
saying.
no, it's not exactly. I did not have a problem with it until she started having a problem with me doing certain things. And I said, no, I can't be
Okay, you
taking
don't
it.
have problems in the world.
Yeah, if you have a problem, then I should have a problem with it because it's not equal, it's not okay.
Yeah.
So what I feel y'all should do is sit down and have a conversation about your boundaries. You know, like we did, it helps us. However, I also want to try out this question. I know that, your faith plays a very important role. It plays an important role for us. And I know that Daniel is a leader in the church. So how does that affect him acting certain roles? We were just discussing Chidimokume's role on Shantytown and talking about how he slayed that role. Kudos, hey Chidi. So if Daniel was to play Scar, for instance, or a role that bad, what would that look like? Him being a leader in the church and you being the wife of this leader. Daniel, do you want to start or do you want to start?
I would say something. I think it's gonna tell more on him than what I think because the number of people that expect him to, look and do better are way more than me. And so their opinion is way more weightier than my opinion in that case. Mine is just the one person opinion.
Okay, so I want to talk about, I want to start from what you said, that you think we should discuss it and set boundaries.
Yes.
I really think if we need to discuss and set boundaries, we need a mediator. We need
Ah.
somebody because, yeah, because her boundaries will
So
probably,
you
I
can
don't
like,
know.
so you can have someone that
Yes,
notes
let
it
it
down.
be, let it be
Okay.
fair. Because
Okay.
if she said boundaries, I said boundaries, we will not be pushing it to suit
Okay.
us.
So we will
You
mediate.
understand?
Yeah.
Now we will
You
do
get
that
what I'm
next
saying?
time. But talk on.
So now on roads, like I said, Chidinma chemistry that he got,
Yeah, he
in
did.
fact, it was a comeback, a much needed comeback.
Mm.
It was, in fact, I think it's the best role he has played for me.
Well,
If I'm to play,
one of yeah.
if I'm to play a role like that, I don't mind. I don't mind because the movie highlighted some social ills,
Yeah.
the things that people don't normally publicize, the part
Right.
of the country, the part of any country that most people are not proud of.
Right.
But it's there. We need to
Sure.
know these things exist. We need to know so that
Yeah.
we know how to tackle them. So as far as I'm doing something to correct the wrong, I don't think it's bad. Moreover, it's a character. It's not.
Right.
It doesn't define my person.
But as long as you like,
So the only thing that'll make me not take it is not the people out there that see me. It's the wife I'm going back home to meet.
Okay, so that's good. Abraham, what would you say with regards to you have friends out there that are saying things like, "I will know we're sure because he plays it so well." They're like, "We're sure this dude, has been living this kind of life in his past." The role we're talking about was I don't know if you've seen Shanty Town, but Chidi Mokena was playing the role of a king and also a kind of like a gangster. So what would you say, being that this is your uncle, say Daniel played that kind of role and you have friends that are saying things like he knows that kind of life, he's not acting, he's living his life. What would be your response and how do you think you would be able to carry that kind of conversation?
Well, first of all, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know the exact role you're talking about. But from the explanation, to me, well, like you said, I'm not married. I'm still very young. Those type of things are seen as cool, quote and unquote, to some people my age, and they're like, wow, you have an uncle like that. Ah, nice. There's some people that actually would want to, get to that particular type of level in, life on the street and things like that. So it's not exact to me. It's not exactly like a bad thing. Something I'll be able to handle with and be harsh and as again, I have to emphasize on the fact that it's acting. It's acting. I don't see people like this is this type of person. You can be acting one character and then you're a totally different person. That's how good of an actor you can be.
Right,
So,
yeah, right.
yeah, that's the way I see it.
African Twist is the must-watch series.
When you want to kill, how do y'all have any fun? We do have fun. We just keep the devil out of it. Booyah!
Nominated for 7 Indie Series awards including Best Drama, Best Ensemble, Best Directing by Helene Allaby Williams, Best Screenplay by Niels Antonio Williams, Best Lead Actress by Areti Doyle, and Best Lead Actor by Wendell Kinney.
Okay, ladies, let's get to work.
That's right. Make me some money.
Watch Season 1 of African Twist.
Yes, and just to piggyback off of what you were saying, Abraham's mom, my sister, played a role in our show, African Twist. He played Tinu, and he slayed that role. But that wasn't even who she was. I just knew that, she would be the best person to play this role.
she did an amazing
And that
job.
was the
She
first
did
time
an
she was
amazing
acting.
job.
She did such an amazing job. I was like, oh my goodness. I had friends that were like, who is that girl that played? I'm like, that's not a girl, that's my big sister. Don't call her girl.
She's a grandmother.
She's grown. But she did such a great job. I don't want us to deviate from what we're talking about here. In the community you all live, I know in America it's not as as prevalent as here. Where in Nigeria, people feel like you have to be boxing if you're a Christian, then do Christian movies if you're, or non-secular movies. So how do you, being an actor that now you're going to be more active, with permission from Madam,
Yeah.
okay, and you're going to be more active, how would you blend these two worlds, carrying your faith into secular, in quotes, movies?
Okay, so for me, we need to be able to break these casts that people have, these molds that once you are acting as a character, you are that person. Like Patience Uzokwa back then, when she was acting me in most of her movies, people see her in the market, they pour her dirty water, call her a witch and all sorts of things. It might not really define who she is. So we need to get involved more to change the narrative. We need to let people know. And the way we can do that, when you play a role, when I play a role, for instance, most times I play a role, I'm either disguised as an old person, or I play a role you never even think I'll do. So most times people see me, they're like, he looks like, because I'm, even in my action, I'm kind of a private person. So you won't even believe that I can even do such a thing like act that role. So when people get to find out what me, they know. They're like, wow, so you were able to, so it disabuses their mind of that belief
That this person
that
is playing.
once you are playing a role, it's who you are. That's why you are that good. You can't be that good if you're not that person.
Right.
So we have to get more involved to let people know. I'm talking about Christians.
Right.
We can't just separate ourselves and say, no, it's secular. If you let the secular people do the secular roles, they lead more people to the devil.
Right.
Or when you play it and let them know there's a better way to do this, you don't have to leave it, it's just a role. A lot of people get to set and they become what they are acting. They see it as an opportunity to go wild. And that character never leaves them. They become the character and they just keep doing it. So we have to be able to sensitize people, let them know that it's just a role, and every role is there to teach something. There's something you want people to pick from the movie. So don't become that hero that you are supposed to correct in society.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry, I wanted to add on that. The main thing that we do is we pray on set with our own films, and if we are on someone else's film, we're praying before we do our roles, because we want to make sure that whatever the role is that we're doing, even if it's negative, like for example the movie that we're working on now, includes some dark roles. I'm actually playing a pretty dark role myself in the upcoming movie, Customer Loyalty. Yes, so you guys hear it pretty first. Customer Loyalty coming out soon. Anyway, so so I had to play, both of us had to play pretty dark roles. And we pray beforehand, so that way we literally ask God to not let that dark spirit or whatever, character that we're playing not follow us into our personal life. Because we've seen actors that go into such a dark place that it's hard for them to come out of.
Right.
Like Heath Ledger and the Joker and and some other people. So we definitely want to make sure that we're praying. So that's one way that we make sure as Christians we're not affected negatively when we're doing that, and that we also know that when we are doing our roles, we have to make sure that we're somehow, like you said, like showing a positive spin or some type of light at the end of the tunnel.
And so I'm going to ask a question. I know you played the role of in African Twist. You played the role. Can you give us your character's name again?
Kai.
You played the role of Kai on African Twist. Can you elaborate on how you prepared for that role? Because that person, Kai, the character was so different from the person that you are. So just give us a breakdown of what you had to do to prepare, both physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Well, first, thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the role and seeing me, as someone that's worthy or capable of doing the role. Because I didn't see myself to be able to do the role at all. But what I did was mainly watch a lot of Love and Hip Hop. A lot of, that American ratchet TV, to really try to get into the mindset of the character. Um, the character is very slick, I don't know, sleazy, very sleazy, and slick. And so I had to kind of get into that mindset, but at the same time, I wanted to make sure that, thank God that we prayed on set, because I want to make sure that I also can leap out of that as well, so I don't carry that with me and be a sleazy person in real life. But yeah, I've just kind of watched a lot of, real people's, there are a lot of people that are actually like that. I watch them and kind of grasp how they, you know, navigate situations, how they respond, how do they react to situations, and what their mentality is, basically. How, because every villain is a hero of their own story.
Right.
So
true.
So they think that they're in the right in what they're doing, but in their own little way. So I have to look at it that way.
Okay. All right, I'm bringing it back to you, Joy. I know you used to act as a child. You were a child actor. We watched some of your stuff. Those were the days we grew up on. Speak out.
Yeah, television.
Yeah, children variety. I did some of those stage dramas with the amateurs. I grew up with them.
Shout out to Fred. Hey, Fred. That's my friend.
Yeah. So Joy was there. He knows me more as a buzzer. So yeah. So growing up, which is a whole lot of fun. Most times the school takes us to NTA. We wait for our turn for one recording to finish, then take over and all of that. It was fun, basically.
So why did you stop acting, and do you plan to pick up acting again?
Okay, I have plans. I have plans to start up something on my own. Yeah, I have friends like Funka, Kimberly, Kirele. I have friends like Wallow Joe. Some of them I really can't remember their names because we're really young, but I was really close to them. But recently I met with Wallow Joe and we talked for a short while. And I have plans to start up something on my own. Start small. And why I stopped, I actually stopped because I just felt I did not have privacy. Like growing up, sometimes I'm on the road and people are like, yeah, I saw you on TV, and I'm like, okay, so I can't do anything peacefully without anybody noticing. And I actually grew up having that phobia. I don't stand on the road. I don't like standing on the road because I just feel, okay, somebody that knows me must have seen me. And, so.
Why? You don't like being famous? Is that what you're saying?
I love being famous. But yeah, the thing is, privacy is, kind of like limited. You're not able to do certain things like go buy meat on the road. Those kind of fun things.
There are definitely prices to pay for being famous, and the price of fame, like we call it. Well, we're going to end this episode here. I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to, have a soundbite on what we talked about today. So I'll start with Antonio.
So, my final say is just have faith in God in all that you're doing. Have faith in the one that you're with. Just trust and believe that, the person that you said yes to or chose to be with is going to respect you, and put you first. Yeah.
You vote.
Yeah.
My final soundbite is to tell everybody that acting is a job. It's a profession. They are professionals. I know you think they're playing, they are not playing. It's a lot of work to be an actor, and we need to afford them that respect and see them as see their talent and the craft for what they're doing and the messages they're conveying, whether it's the secular or the faith-based ones. We are faith-based, but I respect the act of acting. That's my soundbite.
Okay, so I like what you started. That acting is a job, it's a profession, because sometimes a lot of people see acting as a hobby. You have your work that you do, but you act because you like acting or you are good at it. And sometimes you don't make much acting. So sometimes you have to sacrifice the passion in the altar of responsibility because you have bills to pay. So sometimes we see acting as something we do when we can afford to. So, that's why I say I like what you said. It's a job, it's a profession, and if it pays the bill and puts food on the table, then like he said, keep it professional. The house wins. So keep it professional. Don't carry your job home. Don't let the character become who you are at home. So when they say cut, you stop there and you come back to your real self.
Absolutely. Abraham, sound like.
Okay, well, I would just, end with saying, obviously, marriage is a whole different ballgame when it comes to, matters like this. But from my own perspective as a single guy, you can just, find a way to make it work. I can have, like you guys were talking about boundaries. I can have different boundaries, and my girlfriend might have different boundaries. You understand? And if we can make it work, I don't see any problem because we're not the same person.
Right.
I don't have to, like what she likes or not like what she doesn't like. We can both like different things. I can be okay with her acting, and she's not okay with me acting.
Right.
I can live with that. That's the point I'm trying to make. So if you can just find like a meeting point, it doesn't have to be equal with an uncle. Yeah, you just find like a middle point where you're just both okay with it, and it stays.
I did a good job raising this one. Come on, Joy. Okay, so my take care is we have to learn to keep it professional. So once we should just know that acting is just professional. It's nothing deep. It's a whole lot of work doing the whole stuff. Acting, trying to bring food on our table and all of that. We should just stick to it. It's just acting, nothing more.
Thank you guys for stopping by. It is still Antonio and Ellen's Diaries, and we are saying peace out from Lagos. Yay!